Fantasy football fam, what's going on? This is Fantasy Football AF, and I'm your host, Mitchell Renz. I want to give a shout out to Devore for sponsoring today's show, and in order for that to happen, I need to crack open my beer. Oh man, this is actually a pretty big one. This is an Imperial IPA. It's called the Therapist, and well, I guess this is going to be a little fantasy football therapy to you guys. And if you guys love craft beer, I need you to go to Devore.com. And if you want to get $10 off on your very first purchase at Devore, you're going to use that promo code ChatSports because, well, I'm telling you to, and I'm drunk in love with Devore, and you guys will be too. So again, Devore.com, use promo code ChatSports to get $10 off. All right, Leonard Fournette, and is he going to play week 2? So Leonard, 9 carries, 41 yards, 3 catches for 14 yards before he left the game with a hamstring injury this past week against the Giants. Their head coach said that Fournette's hamstring injury is minor, in quotes, minor. And anytime I'm dealing with a hamstring injury this early in the year, guys, I'm worried because hamstring injuries have a tendency to linger. And anytime you got a guy like Leonard Fournette who has an injury history, especially with an ankle, he's dealing with an ankle injury, and now you're dealing with a hamstring injury, that leads me to believe that this might not be the only time we see Leonard on the injury report. Now, if Leonard can practice on a limited basis on Wednesday, tomorrow, that's a really, really good sign, right? That's a really good sign. Now, if he's limited all week, that's where I get a little bit shaky, though. Ultimately, when you're looking at a guy like Leonard Fournette, that's when you need to just be like, hey, I understand the issue. Maybe you could get a guy on the waiver wire, which you might see a guy a little bit later on. Okay, the next guy I'm coming up here with, and you should sit Devonta Freeman in week 2? Now, Devonta Freeman, 6 carries for 36 yards, 3 catches for 14 yards this past week against the Eagles, and the Eagles have a good defense, right? I get it. Well, if his knee is fine, then why didn't he play over the last few, I don't know, quarters of that game? Tevin Coleman came in and got the bulk of the game. Like, Freeman came out and I thought ran pretty well. He had a 20-yard run and then just kind of went away. And the issue was his knee. So if Devonta Freeman's already dealing with knee injuries, he's a small guy. That scares me. And they're going up against the Carolina Panthers, who actually held Ezekiel Elliott in check pretty well. So, and when you just look at numbers in general, like this year, Carolina ranks 10th against running backs, and they were pretty good against running backs last year. So if Devonta Freeman's banged up, I don't think I'm going to put him as a top 24 running back. They're probably going to lean on a guy like Tevin Coleman, who's proven to be a very, very reliable running back. So just saying, you may want to sit on Devonta Freeman this week, especially if he's not healthy. Okay, I talked about some rumors. Now I'm going to get into the top fantasy football point scorers from the running back position. You got Alvin Kamara. Like, I love that Alvin Kamara, people all offseason were like, oh, there's no way he can keep up his touchdown rate. Dude puts up 3 touchdowns, 29 rushing yards. Love it. Sure, he had another 120 through the air, but love Alvin Kamara. James Conner, Le'Veon Bell, who? James Conner there at 29.2. Isaiah Crowell broke off like a 68-yard touchdown against the Lions. And, well, the 2018 Lions may be worse than the 2008 Lions. And then you got Joe Mixon, the guy who I've been hyping up all year. He's one of my breakout running backs. Absolutely balled out against the Colts. All right, guys, I got a question for you. Another little bit of trivia. So please comment your answer below. How many rushing yards did Ezekiel Elliott have in week 1? And if you guys know anything about me or about this show, that number might be something. So how many rushing yards did Ezekiel Elliott have in week 1? Please comment below and hit me up on Twitter with the number as well. I would definitely appreciate that. Fantasy football fan, what's going on? My name is Mitchell Renz. Please follow me on Twitter at MitchellRenz365. And please follow Devore on Instagram and on Twitter because, well, their beer, it's pretty amazing. And they're hitting me up with this Therapist Imperial IPA. This is a big-ass beer. It's 10.4% alcohol. And I'm kind of hoping that you guys can't tell that this is kind of a strong beer by the end of this show. So if you guys want more craft beer from Devore, please check out Devore.com and use that promo code ChatSports.